Married couples. How do you turn down sex without offending your spouse? The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised. Can't we just cuddle? #no. It time SNSN. Hello, I have arrived. Org. What kinda idiotic plan is that? No babe, I'm full of ravioli. Want a bone? Nah, I'm not up for it tonight, alright, love you. Back off, you horny alligator. Honestly, it only happens when I am ill, usually she'll notice anyway, but if she doesn't, I just tell her, in which she tends to switch into nurse mode instead. Oh. Nurse mode? Wife, so basically you just want roleplay husband. No, what I meant was. Wife, now calm down babe, this won't hurt a bit. Proceeds in naughty nurse mode and sticks the thermometer in the booty. I think I've seen this video. Snaps rubber glove on. Oh goodness no. Scalpel. Nano doctor. Nanoscalpel. I'm old and tired, I'll duck you tomorrow. Oh yes, the procrastination position, good one. Back off, you spooky bitch. My husband does Dave Chappelle, get off me bitch, I'm impotent. I do this one as well. You can also turn it around when you're feeling in the mood, bitch. You know what I want. Saying no, because reason X and Y. Like normal humans, to be fair. I wish this was normalized by society at large. My husband and I don't feel pressured to cave or lie. Just a not feeling it right now babe, maybe later? Is good. Scream at them and jump out the window. They should put this on WikiHow. With a seemingly unrelated image. There's one now. I.red. it. Bonk, go to horny jail. We have fun. Just kidding. We just say not right now but later and both move on together happily. When she says no, I roll back over and go to sleep, lol. We have a really communicative relationship, so a no not tonight never hurts either of our feelings. If it's complicated to turn down sex because your partner is offended, then you need to get down to the root of that issue. Do you guys have different sex drives? Is there a trust issue in play? Is there intimacy besides sex that you guys have? And for the party turning it down, is there more to it than just not in the mood? Can't clear your head stressed? Can't preform? You're married and you guys need to be really honest with each other, and if that's not something you can do, then I would suggest getting a counselor to mediate that kind of conversation. Sex is healthy, but more importantly, only healthy sex is healthy. And healthy sex may look different for each individual and can change over time. Be open to new ideas and the waves that happen in marriage. But if you or your partner aren't open and communicating, it will never be healthy, and can easily wedge between you guys in other aspects outside of the bedroom. Best of luck if this is something you are dealing with, op. It's okay to say no. Nobody needs to feel pressured to do anything, especially sexually. But you also need to be able to verbalize and communicate what is going on, or find resources to help you do so, if it's happening frequently enough that it is complicating your marriage. That will help you validate your partner's feelings of inadequacy, and help remove that stigma for them, without compromising your wants and needs. Needed this, GF isn't sure if she's asexual and we're still talking about how to adjust. If you have a good marriage, then this should not be a problem ever. When I was working 12s every day, I was often too tired to perform, and she respected that. Just made days off all the more special for each other. Also, married life is much more valuable for the surviving together aspect than the sex. Surviving together hits different amidst years of pandemic lockdowns. Therapist here. Repeat after me. I love having sex with you, but right now, reason you ain't wanting to have sex, why don't we shoot for time and date when you can likely have sex, and we can have better fun together. I love having sex with you, but right now you're a horny alligator, why don't we shoot for when it's not bestiality? Because we don't put any pressure on sex. Been with my wife for 10 years. We have a happy sex life, but sometimes our bodies or minds aren't in the mood, and that's perfectly okay, with both of us. In a good marriage, a spouse, regardless of gender, should not get offended because you're not in the mood every time. Want some chorizo con huevos? Nah. I already have pants on. And I told you to stop calling it that. Cool. Grab on it if you change your mind. For those who don't know, chorizo is a type of sausage and huevos mean eggs also, lamau. By that time both are mature enough to understand what the so means and don't get offended. Hopefully. One time, in 33 years I said Sri, not now. She starts crying, I'm not attractive anymore. Woe is Mesh has postponed or refused hundreds of times. I don't even try anymore. Not sure what to do, if anything. If you're so is offended by a not right now answer, there is likely other issues in your relationship. Humans are not machines. I have a very high sex drive while my wife is probably closer to average. She has adjusted to my drive and I've adjusted to hers. It's give and take in a relationship. When we were younger, in our early 20s, I would get pouty about it because I was immature and feelings of resentment would surface. We talked about it and I had to make an adjustment because she wasn't up for it as much as I was. Multiple times a day is asking a lot. She agreed to adjust more to my drive, but I had to realize that my requests, while seemingly on a normal schedule to me, were way above average to her. I've never once sought anything outside of my marriage to supplement my drive because my wife is my best friend and I love her and our relationship. I have no desire for anything else. Just talk to each other. I felt rejected a lot, but that's because I was seeking it too much for her. Communicate. If it's habitual, there may be other issues, but you won't know what's behind that door unless you ask to be let in it. Me or husband, sex? Me or husband, nah, I'm good. Me or husband, K the end. Yes, no, yes. It's the best way to say no. You say a yes thing, a no thing, and a yes thing. The first yes is to affirm a principle or value, and the second yes is a plan for the future or a path forward. For example, 1, I like having sex with you. 2, I don't want sex right now. 3, can we try tomorrow? Yes, no, yes. Once I learned it, I use it for everything. Not only does it usually make a no much easier to hear, but it also keeps me focused. You stay away from my spouse. Why are they asking you for sex? Pretend to be dead. If that doesn't work, die for real. Spend years making every excuse in the book and eventually that love will die out. I'd say to communicate with your partner, explain why you're not always in the mood. And be honest with them. That being said, if you constantly turn down their advances and dramatically pull away from their touch, don't be surprised when they eventually stop trying. Lol, my wife did this. Now she's complaining I'm not initiating. I say not tonight, baby, I love you, and he respects me and loves me, and that's all that is needed. Just curious, would you get mad if you say you don't want to have sex and they go masturbate? Sent from under my spouse. I screech like a vulture and run off into the night. Talking is key here. Talk when sex is not on the table. Talk about how to let each other know when you're not in the mood. Talking about each of your wants and needs from all areas of your relationship is the best, only way to maintain your happiness together. I just say I'm not feeling well up for it right now, honey. Depending on the reason. He smiles and says okay, and I threaten him with a good time later. I mean, as long as the reason isn't insulting like you look ugly today, then nobody should be getting offended. If they are, that's kinda toxic. Sex is a good part of a healthy relationship, but it should never ever be expected. My wife is absolutely allowed to say no without even giving a reason. If you don't want to, you don't want to, end of story. If you get offended, then that's kinda rapey, emo. You can say no? Just reject your spouse 97% of the time for a decade and they'll just stop asking. By talking like humans. Not married, but from my experience in relationships, it only becomes a problem when done to a consistency. If you turn down sex every so often for whatever reason, they probably aren't going to care. If you turn down sex half or more of the time they try and initiate, that's going to start building some resentment and is a problem. It's also generally greatly appreciated if you initiate later after your reason for not having sex is gone, sooner the better. Got a headache? Take an Advil and find your so a few hours later. Busy on an important phone call? Seek them out after you hang up. Just really not in the mood today? Initiate tomorrow, or the day after. They'll be happy, because they're getting direction attention from their loved one, and it will show them that not only are they desired physically too, but that you care for them and want to make them happy and aren't just blowing them off.